these lounges, these spaces, they are a lighthouse in the darkness on the high street. And this is why I say they should be everywhere until there is a chain that illuminates the UK. Do you know what I mean? It's people want to be with each other and to, as you say, to feel safe, to taste the future. The reason, like myself, I'm going to Spanish in a couple of weeks. The reason some people are traveling 10,000+ fucking miles to Spain is to taste that freedom. Granted, there's obviously the current crackdown and some potential on the clubs and whatever, but inside Spanibus, that is people just having an average weekend in the reality they want to live in. Mm-hmm. And again, I think whether it be a cannabis club, a herb space, whatever, a lounge, or consumption space, or harm reduction center, whatever guy's language, the thing is the same. It's people that consume cannabis that feel insecure and unsafe in their life. And I don't say that as a point of weakness. I mean that they are under fucking threat, literally. And I say this is quite, I believe, quite a strong individual. But every time I see a blue light or hear a siren, even when I'm sat in my office still, it's like, oh shit. I take comfort actually when I hear the siren, because then it's like, they turn the siren off if they're coming for me. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? But we have to think and live in that way. And in those spaces, we don't. It's like having trans inclusive spaces, queer inclusive spaces. And I think, as I keep bringing up on previous episodes, I'll bring up the thing of where are the best nightclubs in every city across Europe? They're the gay bars. When we launch, can be truly let go as a cannabis culture, where are the best fucking clubs and spots and evening spaces going to be? They're going to be cannabis spots. Yeah. We are the culture. We are the new wave of the future. 25% of Gen Z, obviously not Gen Alpha, because I think they're only about 14 at this point, but if Gen Z don't drink, they're teetotal. Yeah, right. They take a lot of other drugs. They like their ketamine, they like their MDMA, they like their mushrooms and their cannabis. And so we can see we're just going through an adjustment in society where the older generation drink and they have their pubs. And that's why we're losing like 20 of them a week across the UK, nightlife venues, nightclubs, etc. Because of the constant crackdown on drug use and all of the drug dogs and everything else, a third to half of those venues have gone in the past 3 years alone. Mm-hmm. Like comedy decimated. There are no fucking spaces for stand-up comedians. Even like the Gala down in Durham near me, I think it's hosting about 12 events, 14 maybe this year. Yeah, it's like there is no space. Granted, part of that is cost of living. It isn't a crisis. It's a manufactured robbery because they printed 800 billion for their mates and just robbed us blind during COVID. So there is that kind of issue, whereas again, people have enough to spend on cannabis and these drugs. Mm-hmm. So wouldn't it be better if we're buying from each other and putting the money back in each other's pockets rather than multinationals taking our money and fucking off, or Albanians taking our money and fucking off, or triads taking our money and fucking off, or even English people taking our money and fucking off to Spain or Thailand or wherever. Like, it doesn't matter who you are. Everybody at this point is impoverishing our communities. Whereas people like yourself that are like, boom, no, this is us. This is where I grew up. This is my shit. That money, it's not the billions and the millions and we need to. That's what they don't see it as profitable like that. That's why those head shop guys are coming to you and going, "Where's the money?" Because they need to see these things. Whereas your profit is not physical. It's physical. It's how you feel. It's how you make others feel. Man. Do you know what I mean? And the money will come eventually. And like I said, I think I've got a few ideas, which I'm more than happy as always to share. But there is that. There is no ceiling once we can get people to understand who we are, what we represent. And like I said, we're just humble people that have been criminalized, vilified, and forced under rocks. And now we're just trying to step out into the light, to live a normal life, to be accepted by society, to live without prejudice.
Mm-hmm. That's it, man. That's beautiful.